From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Well, happy Monday morning to you all. You know, the weekend, we started to see those temperatures increase a bit. Many of you feeling those warmer temperatures yesterday. Although it didn't feel that way for me. I was up on the mountain one last time out at Mount Shasta Ski Park here with my son, getting that one last ski trip in there for the season before it wraps itself up here. And it was chilly up there on the mountain, a little breezy at times. We saw some snow flurries off and on throughout the day, kind of that sticky snow. It didn't make for the best skiing conditions, unfortunately, as my skis were kind of sticking a little bit there in the snow, so I wasn't able to get a ton of speed, especially in those low-grade hills here. But overall, a nice day to be out there with him one last time, and temperatures are going to be on the increase. You know, of course, next weekend will be the last weekend that the ski park will be open. So if you can get out there this week or even next weekend, of course, they do that big pond event here as well. As they kind of skim over that pond as well. So kind of some fun things going on over there. But it's warming up. Also, to start off the work week, a little breezy with that warming trend. Cooler near the end of the week. Yeah, cooler temperatures again. And yes, another chance for more rain by the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. All right, but before we get to that, I mean, it's going to be gorgeous today, right? You're back in the low to mid 70s in the valley, mid to upper 50s for most of the higher elevations, some low 60s in there like Siskiyou County, and of course upper 60s out in Trinity County, but no rain, right? So we can at least look forward to that. As I mentioned, a little breezy. I think we could exceed that 20-mile-an-hour range here through the mid-morning hours, especially in the valley and even for parts of the coast. But you can see overall the wind's not that big of a deal. Right, then we go into the afternoon, the wind's kind of dying down and should mainly be somewhere between 5 and even upwards of 15 miles per hour at times as we go into your Tuesday and Wednesday, but really no major wind events heading our way. I just needed to mention that I think for some of us, it may be a bit breezy here to start off the work week, but then the conditions should improve wind-wise. Now, we do have this big ridge of high pressure in place, but what's happening is we're kind of stuck between low pressure that was impacting our weather and, of course, high pressure that will be impacting our weather this week. So when you're between the two, we tend to see those breezy north winds that kick in. All right, but that quickly moves on out of here as high pressure starts to settle in. Now, the thing is, if you look at this ridge of high pressure, it's not a very big amplified ridge of high pressure. So temperatures, yes, they're increasing. You're going to notice that, and it's going to be above normal. But we're still going to allow some clouds to filter through. I think mainly in the form of a lot of high clouds filtering through, but it won't be entirely sunny as we go into your Tuesday ones. Today, I think it should be pretty sunny, and that should be pretty good for the eclipse viewing if you want to check out that 20 to 30% eclipse of the sun, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But look what happens as we get to the end of the week. An area of low pressure will dive down to the south. This will kick in our winds. This will give us a chance for showers, possibly as early as Friday. Saturday looks to be the event where we're going to see most of that rainfall. Snow level's fairly high, though, probably somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 feet. That rides down the coast on Sunday, maybe a chance for some showers on Sunday, and then that moves out as we go into early next week. But look at that, another storm system here. Now, this looks pretty promising, right? Maybe this will build in and we'll get warmer temperatures. Probably not, because we've got another area of low pressure here that kind of ride over that ridge and kind of break it down. So we'll see. But bottom line is this. We still have chances for showers in the long range. We have warmer temperatures, but I'm not seeing, number one, any major storms as far as rain or snow is concerned, and any major heat waves heading our way. Just kind of I guess maybe a typical spring-like pattern, right? But we do have the below normal rainfall that is expected by the Climate Prediction Center, putting us in the darker shades of brown, indicating better chances of below normal rainfall. Temperatures, yeah, I mean, slightly above normal, but again, nothing major as far as heat is concerned here as we look down the pike here. All right, let's talk about the eclipse. You may have been hearing about it for the last several weeks. Really, the main event for the eclipse is going to be way off to our east, unfortunately, right? Of course, fortunate for them, but not so great for us. So you can see here it goes through Mexico, central Texas, and then makes its way off into the east. Now, as you get farther and farther away from the totality here, right, you get less and less of the coverage of that sun. So let's take a closer look where we are. I mean, we're on the outer edge of it. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at out towards Seattle. I mean, they're barely getting anything, right? And then, of course, for us, now, for most of us, we're in that 30 to 40% coverage. But as you head out towards the North Coast and parts of Siskiyou County, you're going to be in that 10 to 20% coverage. So it's just not as impressive as you get on those outer fringes here. All right, so as we zoom it in a little bit tighter, again, you can get a better perspective. We're kind of getting right there in the middle of it between 10 and 20, and then, of course, 20 to 30. So as you head more and more to the south, you're actually getting closer to about 50% coverage out towards, say, places like San Diego, for example. But here's what it looks like for us. Now, starting at around 10:20, 10:21 in the morning is when you'll just begin to see it begin, okay? And then the max is expected to be around 11:20 today, so just before that noon hour here. But this is what is, when I say max, the max eclipse for us. So to kind of give you that idea, Crescent City, you're going to see about a 25.1% eclipse of the sun. Eureka, about 26.5. Now, as we get on this line here, we're going to be right around 30%. So Redding, kind of right on that line. So about 29.7% of the eclipse. And then, of course, you're looking at 28.7 for Mount Shasta City. A little bit better in Alturas, 31.3. As you head to the south, yeah, Chico, you're going to be at about 31.9. Now, is it going to be all that noticeable between Crescent City and Chico? Not really. I think for all of us, it's going to be pretty much the same type of experience here. Now, for the most part, I do expect to see clear skies. There may be some high clouds and maybe some low clouds and maybe along the coast here. But I think for the most part, we'll be in pretty good shape checking it out. And make sure you've got these, no sunglasses, all right? You got to use the full-on solar eclipse glasses. All right, so here's a look at your wave heights. Of course, it looks like they may increase a little bit, but really nothing to be terribly concerned about. There are no small corrected visors or anything of that nature. But we can see those winds will be from the north at 10 to 15 knots. Waves from the northwest at 5 feet at about 5 seconds. And from the northwest at 6 feet at about 13 seconds. There's your high and your low tide, your sunrise, your sunset. And of course, as I mentioned, no alerts in the forecast. Here is your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mid to upper 60s to around 70. Some of those warmer spots here for today. There you can see about 59 degrees for Blue Lake, 64 degrees in Alder Point, about 61 degrees out in Honeydew. And again, you can see here for today, there may be some clouds for some areas along the coast, but otherwise inland, mainly sunny skies, and then a few more clouds coming in here by tomorrow. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Those winds from the north at about 7 miles per hour. Temperatures upper 50s to low 60s, although mid to eastern Siskiyou, especially after the north and east, some of those higher elevations, somewhere in the mid to upper 50s for those daytime highs. Modoc County, look for a high of 54 degrees for Fort Bidwell, 53 in Cedarville, 56 out in Canby, and Ayden, about 54 degrees. And your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast looks like some good weather for solar eclipse viewing. About 57 degrees for Chester, 56 in Mineral, and 68 degrees in Paradise. All right, here is your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Temperatures, yeah, pretty nice. Yeah, we're warming up. Temperatures in the mid-70s. I'd say low to mid-70s for your daytime highs today in the valley. 73 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake, 71 in Lakehead, Redding, about 74 degrees, and Red Bluff topping out about 73. Now, again, we're going to peak on Wednesday, somewhere in the low to maybe some mid-80s for some of the warmer spots. Look at that. I mean, we're back down to the 60s by the weekend, and raindrops. I think many of us are kind of maybe getting sick of the rain. And the thing is, I think it's okay for us to feel that way because we've been dealing with a lot of rain. Most of us are above normal rainfall for the season, so we can't complain about that either, all right? But, all right, you know, but it is what it is, right? So we got to deal with it. But temperatures are going to be in the low to mid-80s for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then, of course, there's that drop. Showers possibly as early as Friday. The main event for rain at this point looks to be on Saturday. And then maybe some leftover showers here by Sunday.